All right, welcome to this week's Say by the Bellerin preview. Today we're looking at Arsenal against Leeds. Ryan is going to handle segment one, where Arsenal are in the attack in Leeds' end of the pitch.
Yeah, and this is the game from the FA Cup last season, which was, I believe, Mikel Arteta's first win as Arsenal manager. And I'm just going to highlight some players here. You've got our two central midfielders, which are circled here and here, which were Granit Xhaka and Matteo Guendouzi. You've got our right back, which was Socrates, and then you've got our front four, which was Pepe, Lacazette, Nelson, and Ozil. And if you look how high we are pressing, we've pretty much on the edge of their box, and it's forced Leeds to kick the ball long, which we're going to have to do quite often in this game. If we want to beat them, we need to press them as high as I've got in this picture. We've got 7 players pressing the ball as quickly as possible. And once we press the ball this high, and if we win it back, we are literally in the box ready to score a goal. And with Leeds and how they play with their hard running style and intricate passing, they're very good bringing the ball out from defence. If we press them very high in groups of 3 or 4 and cut off every single passing lane, I'm just going to mark in blue the options the player had, which is here, and the ball is obviously here. He had no options out of defence. Option 1 to the right, he's marked off by Granit Xhaka. The central midfielder, Calvin Phillips, is marked off here by Guendouzi. Alioski, the left winger, is also marked off. If we can press this high on Sunday, I'm sure we'll have a lot of joy, because their centre-backs, as Sam mentioned in the podcast on Tuesday, Robert Nock, the German centre-back, he's not very good on the ball and he has a mistake in him. So if we can press with this many players on Sunday against the back four of Leeds United, they have been leaking quite a few goals recently, which have been against Palace. They conceded 4. I'm sure we'll get a lot of joy and hopefully get a win.
All right, here in segment 2, Sam is going to break down how Arsenal will defend against the Leeds counterattack. Sam.
Okay, so in terms of defending Leeds counterattacks here, as you can see, we've got a slight overload on the far side. So the Leeds player here can have the ball going out wide to this player here, or to the overlapping fullback. As you can see, the Arsenal fullback over here is way behind his man. Ideally, we need that fullback to be here. So there's quite a bit of ground to make up. But in terms of the press that we're employing here, we've got Matteo Guendouzi pressing the ball. The player on the ball here has got 2 options, really. He can either, as I said, go to the far side with the pass, or he can have not the ball to the side of Guendouzi, as you can see, with Guendouzi rushing the ball. Can either come to the side here or the side here. So effectively taking Guendouzi out of the game, that would leave a big space in the middle of the park for that player either to run into or play the ball into the striker's feet here, or from here, again, to go wide. 2 options on the far side, or coming to the near side to Alioski. With our defensive line, as you can see, back here, that's ideally where you want them to stop. and stop retreating, so they can then engage with the players here. And if this fullback comes to here, he'll stop there, be able to gather some position and press either here or come out wide to block the winger off. Ultimately, what we need to really be careful of is this overload, because if our defence is retreating back to the 18-yard line, the two wide players, the ball can be played into this space here. Our defender would be marking that space, but ultimately this player here, his run is going to continue right the way down the line, and that is a very simple ball to play down the line. So what we need to really be careful of, Leeds, is don't engage them in silly areas, leave ourselves exposed on the counter-attack down both our flanks, and realistically we want the ball going into the striker, not on our 18-yard line, so we can hold the ball up, hold the play up, try and nick that ball and play up the field. So in summary, the overload for Leeds is their main primary threat.